Today's success story is the story of Murad and Michel Bakhoum. Murad Bakhoum, an Egyptian architect and structural engineer, works as a professor at the Faculty of Engineering, Cairo University, and is the only son of the late engineer Michel Bakhoum. He returned to Egypt to continue his father's message. His father, Michael Bakhoum, is a doctor of civil engineering and one of the founders, along with Ahmed Muharram, in 1950 of the oldest Arab design office for major civil engineering projects. The Egyptian engineer Murad Bakhoum won the award for the best engineer in the Middle East and North Africa region in 2021 for the design of various projects in the new administrative capital, the Suez Canal tunnels, and a large number of other engineering projects by the Mead Foundation, and this award is awarded through an annual ceremony held in Dubai.
ACE was always introducing new technologies in Egypt, like pre-stressed concrete bridges. The first pre-stressed concrete bridges in Egypt were done by ACE. The first TBM tunnel in Egypt under Suez Canal, ACE was involved in the consulting engineering of that project. Always we have trying to be at the edge of technology. I will speak a little bit about the construction in the rail and road projects in Egypt, because the last 7 years is really fascinating and exciting. The road networks almost doubled. Many bridges constructed either over the River Nile, which is a big challenge, and the intersections. Many intersections have been constructed, and the intersection now takes 3 months from signing the contract till the completion, which has eased the traffic congestions in Cairo in particular significantly. People who live in East Cairo, the Masr al-Jadida or Heliopolis region, would know that these bridges and intersections had a major effect.
Among the most important engineering works of engineer Murad Bakhoum are the Cathedral of the Nativity of Christ in the new administrative capital, Al-Fattah Al-Ali Mosque in the new administrative capital. Construction of Long Live Egypt tunnels in northern Ismailia, the new Egyptian Museum, the Road al-Farag Bridge, and this engineering work was the reason for honoring engineer Murad with the Mead Prize last year. The central bus station in the new administrative capital. Participation in the construction of the sports stadium in the Olympic City in the new administrative capital, which is under the supervision of the Engineering Authority of the Armed Forces, building one of the largest important malls in Egypt.
The rail is really, again, very fascinating. We have all types of rail being constructed in Egypt now at the same time. We have two monorail lines connecting east of Cairo and west of Cairo, the new capital, which is again a major project, to the center of Cairo. Two monorail lines, every each of them about 50 kilometers long, more or less. We have a light rail transport connecting again middle of Cairo with the new capital. We have a new high-speed rail line between Al Alamein on the Mediterranean Sea to Sokhna on the Red Sea. This is the first line to connect the Mediterranean and Red Sea directly. And this is basically a transverse line, east-west. Most of the railway lines in Egypt were going south to north, more or less. So this is a major line and the first high-speed train. It will have a major impact on transporting people between different parts of Egypt, because there is a major development on the Mediterranean called New Alamein City, the new capital, and major industrial developments on the Red Sea at Sokhna. Rail will connect these regions together. So it's a lot of work going at the same time, and it's really a lot of effort and needs a lot of follow-up from the Ministry of Transport and the engineers, which they are doing in a good way. Also, we are doubling the width of the ring road. There is a ring road around Cairo. The width is being doubled now. Very challenging project because we are building near existing buildings and we have to keep the traffic going on. So really, the last 7 years, as I said, and I'm repeating it, very fascinating and exciting times.
And the engineer Murad Bahoum is the son of the well-known engineer Michel Bahoum. His father was a professor of construction engineering at the Faculty of Engineering at Cairo University. And one of the biggest works is the design and review of most bridges, airports, tunnels, bridges and silos in Egypt and many Arab and African countries. Engineer Michael Bahoum is considered to have the idea of establishing and co-designing the Cairo Sports Stadium with German architect Werner March, the same engineer who designed the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, Germany. Engineer Michael or Michel Bahoum received the Medal of Science and Arts of the First Class in 1963 and the Medal of Commerce and Industry also of the First Class in 1964, and was the subject of honor in his higher studies in America not long after he joined Elianze College for a short period until he was appointed to the faculty there, and also awarded full membership by the American Research Association. According to the information reported by the Encyclopedia of Arab Thought, Michel Bahoum is considered one of the pioneers in the field of structural engineering, as he designed many vital construction works in Egypt, the Arab world, and in African countries, including, for example, the pre-stressed concrete bridges on the Nile and the crustal roofs of the Cairo International Fair, in one of the most important hotels, the ancient city of Cairo, Kuwait Airport, and cement factories in Egypt and Libya. In Abbasiyah, the Abbasid Cathedral, engineer Michael Michel Bahoum carried out the structural design of St. Mark's Cathedral in Abbasiyah. The architects Awad Kamel and Salim Kamel Fahmi designed the construction of the new cathedral. The structural design was implemented by Dr. Michael Bahoum, and the executing company implemented the cathedral designed in the form of a cross before it opened in 1968. Regarding his biography, Michel Bahoum was born in the village of Masoud in the city of Sohag in Upper Egypt in 1913. Michel Bahoum joined Harit as-Saqayin School and then the Great Coptic School. He also obtained a Bachelor of Engineering in 1936. Upon graduating, he worked as an engineer in the Ministry of Works. He obtained a master's degree in civil engineering from Cairo University, a diploma in structural engineering from the Institute of Structural Engineers in London, ISE, a doctorate in civil engineering from Cairo University, a second doctorate in civil engineering from the University of Illinois, and graduate studies from Columbia University. Then he became a teaching assistant at the Faculty of Engineering, Cairo University in the year of 1937, where he taught and worked in the reinforced concrete lab and the soil mechanics and foundation lab. He rose in his grades until he became a professor of construction, calculation, and flexibility theory in the Department of Structural Engineering in 1957. Then a full-time professor in the Department of Construction in the college in the year 1973. In 1975, Michel Bahoum held the position of Professor of Structural Calculation and Elastic Theory in the Department of Structural Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, Cairo University. He was also granted full membership of the American Research Association and became a member of several international engineering bodies. He was then a member of the committee responsible for reviewing and developing specifications for reinforced and pre-stressed concrete at the Building Research Institute. He was a member of the National Research Institute's committee to research ways to provide reinforcing steel in concrete, and a supervisor on concrete research carried out by the Building Research Institute, and an expert for the Air Force in the construction of airports and hangars. He supervised many MA, 21 theses, and PhDs, 6 thesis researchers in the fields of reinforced concrete, pre-stressed concrete, and structural analysis. Michel Bahoum began his research since his appointment to the college and worked on the theory of elasticity, ductility, maximum load, limit design, and buckling for long columns, and invented a specified and simplified device for these columns. He began by trying to find simplified ways to design concrete selection subject to moments, and found a solution to the problem of concrete selections subjected to non-axial forces. He published 29 scientific papers in the field of reinforced concrete, pre-stressed concrete analysis and mechanics of construction in conjunction with his students and professors and individual research. He authored a book, Structural Mechanics, in 2 parts. He authored a book, Structural Analysis, and participated in many international scientific conferences in the fields of reinforced and pre-stressed concrete, and was honored at the FIP conference in Paris in 1966 for innovating designs for veneer ceilings of the Cairo International Fair. Among the awards and honors that Michel Bachung received were the Medal of Science and Arts of the First Class in the year 1963 and the Order of the Republic of the Third Class in 1960. He also received a scientific appreciation for his design of crustal ceilings for the Cairo International Fair from the International Pre-Stressed Concrete Association in 1966. Among his publications, he published 29 scientific papers in the field of reinforced concrete and pre-stressed concrete, analysis and mechanics of structures, jointly with his students and professors and individual research. Michel Bachung received the First Class Medal of Commerce and Industry in 1964. He was honored in his higher studies in America, and it was not long before he joined the University of Illinois until he was appointed to the faculty there. He also was granted full membership to the American Research Association, which is the highest American scientific body whose membership is rarely obtained directly before staying in the fellowship degree, and his methods, published in his name, have been studied by great professors such as Professor Morgan, a fellow of Professor Hardy Grote in the book Cross and Morgan, and Professor Shedd and others. Michel Bachung, the father, passed away in 1981 after leaving many engineering projects in Egypt and other countries, while Murad Bachung, the son, continues his journey and success story with his important works that raised him to the highest positions and nominated him for the best awards until he too completes his success story.